Washington.
This your boy, Martin for here once again.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamar 4 here once again, and we are here finally after just getting off of the cusp of season 12. Congratulations again to Miss Jada for winning. We're here to talk about All Stars 5. Now, the thing about this particular season of All Stars, I felt like because it was so long ago, a lot of the rumors and stuff, and a lot of the stuff I try to avoid initially, but it always comes to me. It always finds itself to me in my YouTube recommendations, DMs, timeline. I can't hardly avoid it. And I feel like had they done All Stars 5 before season 12, it probably could have been a little bit more exciting. But I mean, since we waited so long and we almost know how this entire season is gonna go, but you still gotta see how we get there. So we're gonna enjoy it for what it is. But what I do wanna say is I liked how, and I tweeted about this on Twitter, how the day of the premiere, a lot of the All Stars girls, namely Shay, Mayhem, and I wanna say Miss Cracker as well, normally on the day of premiere, they're promoting, but we were right in the midst of the rioting and the protests and the entire, false murder of George Floyd and everything happening around the country, that they sort of made an acknowledgement to that. They might still post things related to All Stars just because it's still partially, they're obligated to do so, but they wanted to mention that, the civil rights posts are not going to cease just because they're also promoting All Stars, which I thought was very, very commendable. I really, really appreciated it. So let's go ahead and get started into the entrance looks and into the rest of the episode. So first up, I have Miss Shay Coulee. Now, I mean, let's just lead with one of our best hands. Like, Shay looks so good. And like, honestly, it's the color, even like the style of makeup. Y'all know Miss Shay got brand new teeth because y'all tried to clock her in the reading challenge of season 9 for them Jurassic Park teeth. So she got that. I want to say that Shay got her lips filled in just a little bit more because they look extra plump, more so than normal. I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but it just looked like it. I'm just saying. But Shay looked amazing. The only thing about her outfit that I didn't like, and I watched this on the pit stop with Bob and Trinity the Tuck as well, and they pointed it out, and I'm so glad that I wasn't the only one that felt this way, is that she had them little, what do you call it, the biscuit boobs? Like her cup that was supposed to be, representing where her tits were, they're like this big. I'm like, girl, what is that? That looks so strange. Like, I'm glad it was like a very small part of the outfit, but like once you see it, you can't unsee it. You know what I mean? But other than that small, little detail, Shay looks incredible. So I want to move on to Miss Cracker. I mean, honestly, I felt like I'm gonna give Miss Cracker a similar edit than what I gave her in season 10, where there's really not much ever wrong with her in particular. Like, this outfit is such quintessential Cracker, the big hair, the kooky, well, it's not really a kooky outfit, but it's like a very, I don't necessarily call it campy either. I don't know what do I categorize this look as, but it's like when I see it, I'm like, that's Miss Cracker. You know what I mean? I don't know if what that word is or that concept that I'm trying to grasp, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I would love to see Miss Cracker on screen. I love her little one-liners, her little zingers, especially even in the confessionals. So I'm so excited to see her back. I know I'm gonna get great comedy from her and great performance as well. So let's move on to Miss Alexis Mateo. Okay, so here's the thing. I like the representation that she gave, but something about the costuming, like, it wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad. I felt like it was just so similar to what we remember her as. And normally, like, when I think about All Stars, I want there to be like somewhat of a drastic difference or like more noticeable difference, especially for Alexis, who has been on All Stars before, okay? And it seemed like, yes, the outfit was great, but it feels like she could have easily swapped this for one of the outfits that she wore in like her original season almost, and it wouldn't have been different. Now, I know you want to, stick to your aesthetic, stay true to your, style of drag, but I don't know. I would, and you know what it is? Alexa's natural style of drag is so big and draggy off base that I wouldn't even know what to tell her to do. And that's the hard part. Like, it's tough to say, I wish you didn't do this, but it's hard. I can't really tell you what to do better, and so I usually don't like saying that, but it just felt like I don't know. I expected something more, but it's hard to say exactly what that more is. Like, if you have an idea, if you kind of understand what it is I'm trying to say, leave that in the comments below, because I need somebody to help me communicate my thoughts that I'm having. Next, let's go to Miss Blair Sinclair, okay? Now, Blair does look better. If I remember her from her original season, she gave especially in her entrance, like a very cutesy young girl who kind of had like a little naivete to her. When she walked in on this workroom on this time, she was giving like, I'm grown, I'm matured, I look like a supermodel. Because honestly, even though Blair's been kind of low key, but not after her season. Like, she's releasing all this music that was actually doing surprisingly well, on the charts. And she's got this wig company. She seems very well respected, so it's no surprise there, but it's just something about Blair that still seems prepubescent to me. It's almost like her style has elevated, but I'm gonna have to wait and see throughout the rest of this All-Star season if her mental is elevated as well. So we'll see, but I mean, other than that, she looked amazing. I mean, if nothing else, you look amazing, bitch. Mariah Balenciaga. I didn't like this look because it was very like Powerpuff Girls, very superhero X-Men type tea. And those are never things I associated with Mariah. I don't know if those are things that she particularly likes or if that's what she was going for or what have you, or maybe she just tried to be drastically different. She didn't want to put the ponytail in. She didn't want to have just like the normal gown. But it just felt random to me. I mean, it's not like she looked bad, but it was just the outfit choice seemed so random for Mariah to wear it. Maybe somebody else, but not Mariah. That was the part I was kind of like, so I don't know about that with Mariah, child. Now, Miss India Farah came through, trying to get like an ode to Gaga's initial entrance look for season 9. But let me tell you something. I met India one time, like 3 years ago, at a pageant in Dallas, where she was guest performing. When I tell you that bitch can paint, like paint, like crease, blend, just blood cut, like it's so amazing to see. It even looks better on screen. And it looks like that in person. Honest to God. And I knew from seeing her, like I don't really remember much of India on her season. I think a lot of people feel the same way. So when I saw her perform years ago at that pageant, I didn't know what to expect. And she tore it up. I was like, I did not know that India could wear it out like this. So to see her on this season, I'm like, okay, if she's ever in the bottom or she has to lip sync or do anything in reference to performing, she is going to let the girls have it, okay? And I don't think a lot of people in America know that, who only have a reference of her from her original season. So I was very excited, but she looked amazing. The wig looked cute. The makeup, of course, was beat down and blended. The outfit was not bad. The outfit was not bad. I actually liked it more so on the positive spectrum. Okay, so after India came Miss Juju. I've had mixed feelings about Juju's outfit, but I think I've sort of leaned more towards the fact that I do like it. It was very less is more, but I think what kind of set it off is how when she explained it, it's almost like an evolution. Words can't work today. An evolution of what her initial season 2 entrance look was, so where it looks more elevated. So I'm like, okay, I see where you're going with this. It does look good. The fit looks great. The hair and makeup is done. So, I mean, for an interest look, you don't have to go all out for an interest look. You want it to be somewhat memorable, but you don't want to put all your eggs in the basket of your entrance look, if you know what I mean. So I still give Juju her coots for doing that. Derek Barry. You did season 8 so much better. This time just looked weird, awkward, and just odd. I don't know, like, I mean, I know she wanted to go like, oops, I did it again, coming back again, Britney reference, of course. But just the fitting of the original suit seemed baggy, and then she turned and to reveal this semi-nude outfit, and the way that she just fell to her knees, so just, like, there was no oomph to it. Like, and I don't know, it was just very bizarre. And what I've noticed that Derek does, and this isn't just on All Stars, I've seen her in like pictures over the past year or so, when she wears these big wigs, they look like they're very high in the back. Like, they look like there's like 4 or 5 different wigs, and they look very high in the back. Not like, you know, the normal shape head goes, it like your head shape starts here and starts to elevate up like a pinhead or something. I'm not sure exactly if y'all catching what I'm trying to say, but that's just what it looked like, and it was always very distracting to me because it made her head look big. But it is what it is. Mayhem Miller. Now, as soon as the entrance look video was released by VH1 or World of Wonder, people started eating her alive, saying that she got her outfit from Amazon, and she even like played fun of it, you know, herself. Like, look, yes, I did get this from Amazon. This is the link. And it's so weird how people try to come down and condemn queens for getting things off of Amazon when if you see a local queen that gets something from Amazon, you're not going to think anything different. But all of a sudden, when they get on Drag Race, they're supposed to, you know, have all this money and spend all this extra money just for the sake of being on a TV show. My thing is, all Drag Race girls are once local drag queens trying to make it the way that you do. Just because you win doesn't mean you should spend all these extra thousands of dollars on an outfit when you could get the same thing and maybe make it work for cheaper. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. Like, are you gonna pass up something that you can get cheaper just because the other one costs more money? That doesn't make any sense. So the fact that they were trying to read her for getting a dress off of Amazon was weird to me. Because even though everybody that said, yes, I have that dress, but I didn't style it and use it the way that she did. So you're supposed to, yes, you can buy whatever you want from Amazon, but let it be your own. So I don't know. Let's call it Jada, child. Lord have mercy, help me. Mayhem looked amazing, I thought. Granted, it was from Amazon. I still am excited to see her. I know she wanted to come back to All Stars really, really bad, so I'm very, very excited to see what she's going to bring us. And Angina, I was very excited to see what Angina would look like, because Angina has not stepped into the workroom since the very first season. So I'm like, if you've had all this time, all these different seasons have gone by, like, what will be your idea to come? And she came in like a regal Christmas tree ornament, like real Game of Thrones, Iron Throne type gig. Like, it's I don't even know what that word is. I don't want to call it like medieval, grand, like, I don't know what that is. But whatever it is, looked heavy and expensive. Okay? And she looked good, though, mind you. Now, what I don't necessarily look forward to is, because I know Angina doesn't particularly wear wigs. I know it's just not her gig. But I don't know, like, there's only so many headpieces you can do, and baldness drag is very tough to pull off on a consistent basis, at least to me. Because even though Sasha Velour is primarily bald, she'll occasionally put on a wig to convey a look. You know what I mean? And I don't know if Angina is necessarily willing to do that, and if not, we're gonna have to see how the rest of the outfit pulls itself together to sort of make up for that fact. But that's just my opinion. So after all the girls have entered the workroom, RuPaul issues that there's going to be this new twist, well, part 1 of the new twist. And that includes the fact that each week all the girls are going to vote from the bottom 2 who they're going to send home. And I believe that that's kind of all that he gave. He didn't really just mention the lip sync assassin part yet until the runway later on in the show. But we get to see one of our favorite mini challenges of any season, regular or all-stars, which is the reading challenge. This is usually like where a lot of the girls construct their quick wit, their comedy skills, their ability to have, you know, quick banter and comebacks for reads. And we got greeted with Ricky Martin, y'all. Now, I don't know what it is, but Ricky Martin is a smooth 50 some odd. He might even be closer to 60. I'm not 100% sure. But Ricky looked good. I'm just like, I wouldn't have any shame. Like, hey, yo, Ricky. Like, what's up? I'm just, hello? I'm just saying, Ricky looked good. So, everybody did, you know, their particular reads, and I gotta say, this was actually a good reading challenge. And I think that's because a lot of the people in this cast have comedy skills. So some of my favorites were, of course, Jujubee. Jujubee is the original. I feel like Jujubee's in that season 2 reading challenge was the very first one, and she won. So I wanted to make sure that I wrote down the reads from Juju that she gave that made me gag. So, in reference to Mariah, because I know Juju and Mariah are really, really close, she said, Mariah Balenciaga. I said, great, you're here. Now we have to change the show to RuPaul's Drag Race Some Stars. I'm like, see, you know what? A good read is just rude. A good... But it's still good enough to where if you are the target, you still get to laugh. Now, another zinger from Miss Juju is in reference to Mayhem Miller. Oh my, she called her Mayhem Filler. She called her Mayhem. I'm like, yo, quiet as it's kept. That kind of was Mayhem's edit on season 10. It's like she wasn't a bad guy, but she wasn't necessarily like a heroine either. So it was kind of very middle ground. But I was like, damn, you ain't have to just drag her down like that. But it was so funny. Like even Mayhem had to laugh. So I wanted to actually give an honorary nod to Blair for this challenge because I thought Blair was just gonna flub around and give some very primarily basic reads. But bitch, when she said to Mariah got the butt of so many jokes, but then again, she hasn't been on since season 3, and Mariah isn't like the most like out there queen. She's kind of like low key to herself, like in her area in West Hollywood. But when she said the only reason that your career is moving is because the Earth has to move on its axis, I'm like, damn. I mean, that's still funny, but I might be ready to fight Blair after that. I might just have to see her outside. And then when Blair's went over to India Farah, and they took a long pause, and everybody was kind of like, okay, so what's happening next? She was like, oh no, I was giving everybody time to Google who you are. I said, ooh. Because if you think about it, well, we know India 4 is her being carried by Mimi on first in season 3, but I feel like most people remember the fact that it was Mimi doing the carrying, and they don't always remember who it was that she was carrying. So, well, I mean, but this is a good reading challenge. I actually laughed a lot. I actually laughed a lot. And if I ever upload like the full clip online somewhere, or if it's already up and you've already seen it, send it to me in the comments below, tweet me or somebody, because I would actually want to see these again. Oh, lastly, before we move on from the reading, is that I wanted to talk about how they had like a prequel of the fact that Derek and India don't really fuck with one another because of some actual outside of the competition drama that happened before the show began. And when they were sort of reading each other, I mean, their reads were, they were okay. But I want to talk about that when Derek was doing his reads on India's face, I don't know if, because you know, the producers like to use faces anytime and mix and match them in a different place. But India's face looked like if RuPaul wasn't here and these cameras weren't rolling, me and you would have to fight. Like, I'm just ready to lay these hands in your life. That is what she was trying to be. I could tell that bitch her wig was steaming, child. She was ready to be her ass. So this week for the Maxi Challenge, instead of it just being a talent showcase, extravaganza, or whatever they call it, they are doing a Work the World style talent show, which I believe the only difference between the two, from what I understand, is that you're allowed to have dancers for your background. And I don't believe in any talent show up until this point they've ever allowed any queen to have like their own dancers or dancers from the show be a part of their number. So I feel like that's really the only difference. And of course, they're promoting the Las Vegas show. But one thing about it is this is a year ago before all the Rona hit, so there's no Work the World Tour happening at all for anyone right now. But it'll be great to see what the girls come up with. Now, before we get to the actual talents, we get more of an understanding or a deep dive into whatever the India versus Derek Barry type tea was supposed to be. And this is what I gathered. And there may have been some pieces that I missed, but India used to work at a club in Vegas called Piranha. Now, depending on who you ask, if you ask India, she quit. If you ask Derek, she was fired. Either way it goes, she no longer worked at the club. And so after that, Nebraska, which is one of Derek's boyfriends, child, I heard he got 3, started working at the club. And not only did she start working at the club, apparently she did a number that addressed India in a negative light. And so after that, India felt some sort of way and started laying these comments. Either they heard through the grapevine or she put it on social media where like she mentioned a comment like, oh, they'll hire anybody in reference to Nebraska. And according to Derek, she was called a fat pig or something like that. So that's where that whole shade comes from. And I'm just like, I mean, the way that y'all were putting it on, like, it seemed like it was something that rooted in some real personal deep dive type shit. And I'm like, okay, so I need to hear the song because I felt like this was a little like overly dramatized than what it actually was. I mean, they probably don't fuck with each other, that's for sure. But it seemed like the reasoning is a little, I don't know. I feel like they sort of just casted them so they could try to fish for that sort of drama like right off the bat. I don't know. It was weird. I feel like there's more to it and maybe we'll learn more about it down the line, but I feel like what they told us could not be the full story. But I want to get to the talent show itself, y'all, because whoo girl. I mean, I'm looking at this now and I'm remembering it as I read it. Some of these talents that I think that I liked at first, when I looked at them again, I'm like, I don't think I like this as much as I thought I did. I feel like my initial excitement was just to watch the girls perform that I haven't seen them perform in a long time. But now just looking objectively, I don't know. And I'm actually starting off with the right person that I kind of had this initial feeling with, and that was Shea Coulee, where it's impressive because I remember either she said it online or did she say it later in the episode, but she took a pole dancing class for 10 days before leaving for Drag Race to do the performance. So she only had 10 days worth of pole dancing class. And it's not like she did a bad job, but for me personally, to get like really excited from like a stripper pole or an exotic dancer performance like that, I need to see you hanging upside down, clapping the boots in a diagonal hypotenuse angle. Like, I mean, she was cute or whatever. Like, that was a cute little seduction for your man on his birthday type tea. But I don't know. I guess it's probably a lot to ask because that shit is dangerous. Do y'all remember last year that clip of that girl that fell from that dancing pole from like 2 or 3 stories, however high it was high as hell. And she fell trying to hang upside down and she missed the pole and just broke her jaw. If y'all didn't see that, if you squeamish, I would stay away from it just because the visual is, yeah. So I understand there's dangers, but I was like, for me to get excited, I need to see something a little bit more. So I was a little underwhelmed by Shay's talent show performance, but it still wasn't nearly as bad enough to be put in the bottom compared to some of the other girls. So Miss Cracker. Now, Miss Cracker came out in her Mr. Pickle outfit, you know, as a nod to her season. And I feel like because we know Miss Cracker to do review with a Jew and make all these funny jokes and puns, I feel like we forget that Miss Cracker can twirl. She don't look like it, but she be flipping, spinning, dipping, all of the above. Like, we gotta remember, like, she can wear us out. So I always appreciate seeing that talent from her. And I be forgetting, she be flipping and dipping in all that heavy ass hair, child. I don't see how you do it, but I really, really enjoyed Miss Cracker's performance. Next, we get Miss Alexis Mateo, who again, high drag, feathers, beat mug, beaded costume. Now, she was one of the few who actually came out with a backup dancing crew, and she was just the whole time shimmying, shaking, them feathers are flying, she's smiling, she's having a great time. High octane energy. Really, really enjoyed the performance. I believe she was definitely one of the highlights of the talent show up until this point. Blair Sinclair, I really expected more. I really expected more because from what I remember, like, I'm not like a huge fan or somebody who really streamed a lot of her musical projects to have like a real reference here, but I remember listening to her to be like, oh, that actually doesn't sound too bad, you know, vocally. But tonight, I don't know if she was nervous. I didn't know if the auto-tune machine was not working or if it was down, but that was a mess. That was a hot mess. I did not get, I mean, she looked amazing. The hair and the makeup was cute, but just the singing, no, man. I'm just, Now, Mariah, I feel like the timing of this show airing and Mariah's performance was a very big coincidence, because she was making like a poetry slam number about, you know, violence and, you know, tearing each other down. And it's so crazy how we are literally protesting for a lot of those very same ideals. And, you know, she was taking this paint and slapping it on this wall. And I thought she was going to do like the whole somewhat similar to what Manila did, but she was kind of like moving on herself and, you know, giving all these extreme like body movements. Or if you're like familiar with like, I don't want to say like praise dancing or like interpretive dance. There was a lot of moves in there that had a lot to do with interpretive dance. And I mean, I really liked it for the message. And I feel like I had to watch it twice to sort of understand fully what it was that she was doing. But once I kind of got it, I really liked it. And shout out to Mariah. Okay, India Farah came with her dancers, and bitch, just watching India Farah shut it down like this, I felt like I needed a neck brace just to watch her performance. Like, her hair was whipping and dipping and all over the motherfucking place. She utilized the dancers as well. And like, it was just a slay. Like, it was undeniably good. Undeniably good. So, Miss Juju, now, Blair, this is how you sing live, bitch. This is how you sing. I did not know that Juju could sing like that. Has she sung in the past and I just forgot? I don't think it was on a season. If it was on a season, somebody let me know. Or if not, like, did she ever mention that she's done it like on the side or something? Because I was like, she actually sounds really good. I don't know if that was like a live taping or a pre-recorded track, but either way, I liked how it sounded. I think Juju did really, really well. Derek Barry. I feel like I saw what Derek Barry tried to do. And I feel like had she had more time to really flesh out the characters, because I believe they only get like a minute or a minute and a half or what have you. I feel like she was rushing through a lot of the impersonations and didn't give them time to breathe and for us to really understand what it was that she was doing or the jokes that she was trying to do. But it's really weird how I saw on online how she meant to do like a Bernie Sanders impersonation, but I guess due to the political climate and just it being so close to elections, that they did not allow her to, or no, they allowed her to do it during the taping, but they edited it out of her final performance. I would assume for that very same reason. So, but she did like a Michelle Visage, a Lady Bunny, a Cher, and I don't know. It seemed like they were all started being the same, or because she did so many that they all started to sound the same. I'm not 100% sure, but it was what it was, child. But again, I still feel entertained by Derek, even when he does bad. So it's like, yeah, even though he was bad and it was horrible, he definitely deserved to be in the bottom two. I wouldn't want him to leave just because there's India shade and tea that we need. And she's just good TV. It's just fun to watch her argue and fight and be messy. I'm just saying. But after Derek came Mayhem. Now, I've seen like a couple of people talk about, you know, what their thoughts were when this performance began. And a lot of them were thinking like me, like she was sitting in a chair, she was doing that whole deal again with the eyes. And I'm like, okay, I get it. This is the meme. Where are we gonna go with this? And then she went up there, and I think she lip synced this track, and it was, I couldn't even tell you what it was about, but you couldn't understand the words she was saying. It was, I'm sure it was like one of those, you know, fun, braggadocious tracks about, you know, being the best, partying, etc., etc. But the fact that you couldn't really understand it means a lot of us found ourselves kind of looking like, what? You know, she was moving and having a good time with the show. Still a little low energy, but she was having a good time with it. But we were just kind of like, what did she just say? I may have heard like 15% of what Mayhem said during her rap sing thing that she was supposed to be doing. Did not like that one. Now, Angina, girl. Angina was supposed to be doing like a mixed match of Rupaul songs or just dance moves in general. And she utilizes the dancers as well, but you could tell somewhere midway that she kind of lost herself. She kind of just started to freestyle it, and I just couldn't help but feel like it's so distracting to watch a queen on stage performing like that with no wig, and it's just. I feel like that's such a delicate thing, and I never cared for when Angina did not even bother to wear a wig. Like, I don't know. To me, the baldness doesn't add to the aesthetic, but then again, who am I? You know, that's just always been my opinion, but I didn't really like this particular showing either. But I was glad to see that India won, and the bottom two were Mayhem and Derek. Now, I feel like not Derek, but Mayhem definitely should have been in the bottom because we couldn't really understand her performance, and she kind of led us up and then we went nowhere. So I could definitely see why Mayhem would be in the bottom, and it would be between Angina and Derek, but I would probably have to say Derek only because she just kind of, it was like a one-woman show. She had to sort of do it all herself, and she just didn't get any sort of life from the judges at all. Like, at least when Angina was performing and remembering what the steps were, people were living for it. People were really excited, but it's just, there were crickets when Derek was out there trying to do his performance. So I think that's the only reason that saved Angina from being in the bottom two this week. And so it was at this point where we figure out that each week, now this is where it's going to get confusing, and I want to say I have an understanding of it, but we'll see. Each week, a different lip sync assassin from past seasons will come and lip sync against the top all-star of that week. Every week, all queens, whether you're in the bottom, the top, well, except for if you're the winner, at least I think, all queens vote on which of the bottom two queens you would send home. So everybody is going to vote either Derek or Mayhem, including both Derek and Mayhem. So naturally, each queen that's in the bottom is going to get at least one vote by the other person who's in the bottom, who clearly want that person to go home. But even the safe queens get to vote. So I mean, alliances and, you know, friendships, all that stuff is going to really play into effect more here than anywhere before. So the top all-star will lip sync against the lip sync assassin. If the top all-star wins the lip sync, they get the $10,000 bonus tip, and they get to choose which lipstick they chose between the bottom two personally within them. Okay? Now, if the lip sync assassin wins, they don't get the $10,000. The $10,000 that would have gone to the all-star that won is instead stacked onto next week's tip, which is what happened this week. Because our lip sync assassin, surprisingly, they came up with Evie right off the bat, which I thought was very interesting. Since Evie won the lip sync, now India doesn't get that $10,000. So the winner of next week's challenge, if they win the challenge and the lip sync, they get $20,000. So it's like, even if you don't win, if the lip sync assassin wins, you had to work that much harder to get $20,000 instead of just $10,000. So it's really, really exciting. You really never know what you're gonna get, and it kind of spices things up a bit. I've seen people say they like it. I've seen people say they don't really care for it, but the way that Evie lip syncs, I almost forgot how much I loved it, to be honest, because she did like a double wig reveal in one move or like two moves, and it was like super seamless, super crazy. I mean, India, as we know, performs the house down. Okay, but I don't know. I mean, Evie took it, and because Evie won the lip sync, she chooses the lipstick of the person who got the most votes. Evie does not put any input herself on who goes home. All she has to do is come in and wear out the lip sync. Now, everybody decided that Derek Barry should have gone home, and even though I get it, and you could see from the cast, like the cast is a really strong cast. It's a very interesting and eclectic cast. But you could tell that Derek was probably the one odd person out of this particular cast. But it's a shame because she may not be, you know, the best at the competition, but she's great television. She's very interesting. She'll say things that kind of get people stirring. And I like her. I've really grown to like her. I did not like her on season 8. I was so annoyed. But over the years, I've really, really grown to like her. It's going to be a shame to see her go out first, but 'tis the way of drag. Now, I think that's all I want to cover. I didn't get a chance to cover Untucked, but I should be able to do it next week. But like, it's just been a really long day, but I want to make sure that I got this one covered. I want to make sure that I talked about it for you guys because I'm coming out of town, actually. So I'm really, really tired. I don't even know if you could tell by the way that I'm talking, but I was like, I need to get this video out because I am not going to let it be late. But I love you guys. I thank you guys so much for being patient with me during all this what's going on. And, well, I'm glad that I'm into the video because someone just rang my damn doorbell. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time, and make sure you like, comment, and share on the video, and I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Like, share, subscribe.
Washington.